Hi, I welcome everyone. I am Deepan Chakravarti, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering in Hindustan College of Engineering and Technology, Coimbatore. So today let us see about file handling in Python. So what is a file? So these are the content which we are going to see it under this topic about introduction, what are the types of file, access mode, file attributes, and the last is about the steps in data file handling. So here about a file. So what is a file? What is the necessity of a file? When I want to store some information and I can use it for a later purpose, I need a file. So the file will be stored into the disk locations, disk or memory locations so that I can access it later. So here the file handling is a mechanism in which I can read the data from the disk file and also I can write back the data into the disk file with the help of a Python program. So here this Python is an option. Python programming is an option which helps us to store the data permanently into the disk so that I can use it for the later purpose. So this is about file handling. So there are two categories of file. So a data file which can be stored in a specific location can be accessed for the later use. So there are two categories. One is about text file and the next is about the binary file. So what is a text file? So when the information is stored in the format of ASCII or Unicode character, then I call it as a text file, and it is human readable. A text file can be read by the human, whereas here, for example, when I want to store a keyword called computer, it takes 8 bytes of memory location and to store the data. Same way, I can store a floating point value. It also occupies a memory of 8 or 10 bytes. Here, an example which that the data will be stored into the memory. So here in a text file, it will be terminated by a special character called EOL, end of line. So here there are two special symbols, that is backslash n or backslash r. The both a combination of both will be used to indicate the end of line. So about that binary file, so here that information will be stored as such, and the next thing, it is compared to the text file, the binary files are a little bit faster in accessing the data and also to read or write. So whereas here it doesn't have any delimiter, and in binary file the data can be read only with the help of a Python program, and here um, it doesn't have any specific format to store it. So when we compare to the text file, binary file are a little bit faster. So now we move to the steps in data file handling. There are, as I said, there are four steps. One is opening a file, reading a file, writing into a file, and closing a file. So let us see what is opening a file. So here we doesn't have anything separately called to create a file. So here we'll just use a open file, and we can write some content into the file, and also we can read the content from the file, and we can close the file. So there are plenty of built-in methods which is available in Python used for opening, reading, writing, and closing the data into the file. So here this is the syntax for opening a file. So once a file need to be created or opened, we need a file object. It can also called as file pointer or file handler to handle a file. Each and every file will have a separate file handler or file object. So here this is a built-in function open which contains three parameters. There is a file name, access mode, and buffering. This access mode and buffering are optional, but where the file name is a must parameter which should be mentioned. So here the file object is equal to open, file name, access mode, and buffer. Access mode, there are three access modes in Python. One is read, write, and append. So the next about the buffering. So here if the buffering is specified as 0, no buffering happen. When it is specified more than 0, then some data is going to be buffered. So the default access mode which is used in file is read mode. So these are the access mode, as I said, read, write, and append. So when it goes for the text file mode, so here that there are three access mode: read, that is for R, W for write, and A for append. When it is R plus, we are going to read and write. When it is W plus, we are going to write and read. And the last one, A plus, we are going to read, write, and append. So the same thing when it is added with a B. For RB, it is going for read binary. For WB, it is for write binary. And AB, it is for appending a binary file. The same way, a plus can be included for the similar to the previous text file modes. So these are the access modes, and the next is about attributes. So as I said, each and every file will have a file handler or file pointer. So it can be associated with so many attributes like file handler dot closed. So these are the few attributes I'm going to mention here. It is about closed, mode, name, and soft space. So here this closed mode, which is going to return something that whether the file is closed or not. And next is about in which mode the file is open. That is for file dot mode. And next is about the name of the file can be written with the help of file object dot name. And the last one is soft space, which is going to explicitly tell the space occupied by the statements. So these are the attributes which is associated with the file. So let us see an example. So here in this example, I have used a file pointer or file handler. We call it as fp. Fp is equal to open function. So here the sample.txt is the file name. So the file name with an extension, and the mode here I have mentioned as w, which is called as write mode. Okay, so here I just try to use with the print statement all the three attributes, that is fp.name, which is going to display sample.txt, and fp.closed, so whether I have closed this file, no, so it is going to return as false. And the last one is mode. Here I have mentioned the mode as w. So this is the output which I'm going to get it as below. So the next is about closing file. What is the necessity of closing a file? So here the close function of a file object flushes any unwritten information and closes the forcefully it closes the file. So it is a must that when a file is open, automatically it should be closed. So here the built-in function used for closing is file object dot close. So always only for the open function, it is a standalone function which uses the file handler is equal to open off. The remaining all the three methods or three functions like read, write, and close will be used with a file handler dot that method name, like file object dot close, file object dot read, file object dot write. Like so here, this is an example with a file object dot close. So here I have opened a file sample.txtw with the write mode, and I have just mentioned only nothing but I'm going to have an attribute called name, which is going to display the name of the file name I have opened. So here I have opened a file name called sample.txt, so that will be displayed, and finally I have used the statement called fp.close, so which is going to close the function. So thank you everyone. With this I have just stopped with the two parameters only for opening and closing. The reading writing we'll see in the next video. Thank you.